So there is there's a Lodestone post that I haven't looked at yet, but it's new. It says, this is concerning the congestion during DAWNTRAIL's launch. This is about congestion that we are expecting for DAWNTRAIL launch. With the launch of the new expansion, we are expecting far more simultaneous logins compared to usually. In light of the congestion that occurred during the launch of Endwalker, we've taken precautionary measures like expanding our data centers and adding new Wait a minute. Isn't that why they've added data center travel as a test to Oceania? Isn't that... We're keeping that. That's gonna be region travel, right? For DAWNTRAIL? However, our player base has continued to grow since then, and a large number of players will be playing for extended periods during the launch of the new expansion, which could result in worlds reaching their login caps and therefore longer login queues. To alleviate players' concerns, we would like to share some details regarding situations that may arise during early access and the launch of DAWNTRAIL. Okay, first of all, UGP said that when a world reaches the maximum number of players that can log in, did you know that that results in a queue for the world? I didn't know that, Yoshi. Even if the queue does not appear to be counting down, the queue process is still functioning and will admit players in the order in which they're queued. So basically he said that there's gonna be login queues. And they apologize for the inconvenience, but ask that you patiently remain in the queue should you encounter the wait. If you cancel the queue, you'll be moved to the back of the queue. You shouldn't cancel it. When the login queue is in place, players on the full version of the game will be prioritized for logging in. This is actually important. If you are on free trial, you will not be able to play. You are not going to be able to get into the game. Okay, because they want to prioritize paying customers. So, yeah, if you want to play DAWNTRAIL and your free trial, either you need to wait it out or get off the free trial. Just so you know. It's gonna force you to log out. Yeah, it's a good idea. It's clever, Lento, but you will have to log out because of the 48-hour maintenance. And so as soon as the servers become loginable again, everybody's going to be logging in at the same time. Okay, data center travel and world visit systems. Right, so can we data center travel? Okay, as existing data centers and worlds are expecting to become especially congested, the following restrictions will be in place starting in patch 7.0 until patch 7.01. Or patch 7.05 at the latest. Data center travel within the same physical data center. Okay, Japanese data center. Number of non-homeworld characters that can log in will be limited. Wait, what does this mean? Oh, does it mean that if you are data center traveling, then you will have a harder time getting in to the world you're visiting? Because the world is going to have a maximum number of visitors. Ooh. Thank God I got off Dynamis. Oh my God. I'm really glad I got off Dynamis now, because this would be horrible. Okay. When a world is reached, and this is just for Japanese data center though, it says, when a world has reached the maximum number of visiting characters, non-homeworld characters that are logged out on that world will be unable to log in. Yeah. The pool is closed, and the world will be unavailable for visitation via data center travel. Next. North American data center. Primal will be unavailable for travel. No one will be able... This means that we can't travel to Ether from Primal? Yeah. Locked. Ashton Mora, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate that. Can you visit another world if your homeworld is congested? That depends on which world you're trying to visit. For example, if you're on North American Data Center, you will not be able to visit any of these data centers at all. This is crazy. So you will be able to travel to Dynamis, and the maximum number of traveling characters will be increased compared to usual. The newly added worlds in the Dynamis... This is why they added the worlds? It's just to help people log in for the launch? Okay. So if you want to meet up with your friend who's on Ether and you're on Primal, y'all need to go together to Dynamis, correct? Yes! The newly added worlds in the Dynamis Data Center are still relatively unpopulated, may be helpful login destinations. That's what that's for. All same thing with European ones. Chaos and Light will be unavailable for travel. So this is the sundering once again. We had our rejoining, but I won't be able to go from Light to Chaos. The buns and the crawlers will be separated again. However, you will be able to travel to Shadow.
Thank you, Optimus Prime.
Remember us. Remember we once raided on Ether. Oh my god. We can go to the Shadow Realm though. We can meet on the Shadow Realm. That's what we're gonna have to do. We'll be open to travel with probationary worlds, which may be helpful login destinations when other worlds are experiencing high congestion. Not more, thank you for subbing. I appreciate that. Thanks. Yes, we can go to the Shadowlands. We shall dwell in the Shadowlands. Yes. We'll be open to travel. Yeah, so probationary worlds, this is something that they told us about recently, where it's not like a regular world. This is there. It's a place that no one can live. It's a place you can only use to visit. You can't make a character there. You can't live there. You can't transfer there. It's a place for no one to be. It's a liminal space. It's an in-between space. It's like a Motel 6 worlds. Tycoon. I didn't... Okay. Titania, Pixie, and Innocence. So that's where we'll meet up, I guess. Crazy. Okay. How long is this gonna be like this? Oh. Visiting the... Oh yeah, what about the data center travel, cross-region data center travel? What about that? The cross-region data center travel functionality, which has been in public testing for some time and appears to be stable, will be usable in patch 7.0 onward. But it's only... I thought... But... I thought that the reason you were testing it was so that we could use it for DAWNTRAIL launch. Remember? Didn't y'all say that already? Cross-region data center travel. I remember. Yeah. In March, they posted this where they said... As you can see, I've already highlighted it. They said that they announced it. Many worlds can experience login queues following the upcoming release of DAWNTRAIL. With this situation in mind, we're considering a temporary option in which a limited form of cross-region travel would allow What if they never meant for us to be able to travel outside of Oceania? What? The test, it wasn't a test to see if it would work so we could travel from EU to NA. It was only to test to see if it would work for this. They never meant to turn it on for EU to NA. It was just for materia. Damn. Damn. Maybe at least let the English-speaking data centers travel between each other. You know? That's so annoying. I misunderstood this. Because when I read it, it sounded to me like the worlds will have login queues with DAWNTRAIL, so therefore we'll consider the temporary option to see if it would work out. Because they said that our system is capable of cross-region travel, but we're still evaluating this functionality in light of the often substantial differences in market economy and social norms between data centers. Social norms? Look, I think it's fine. Just turn it on. Just turn it on, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Zankid29 says hello Zepla, it's me, Aaron Country. I heard you want to marry my boy, Aaron Village.
Hey. Aaron Country? That's not his name. It's Aaronville. It's not Aaron Village. Oh, this is a cool song. Anyways. Okay, so this is kind of huge. You can't data center travel except to Dynamis, to the Shadow Realm, or to Oceania, depending on your situation. So do you really think that players on EU or NA, if they turned on all the cross-region travel, do you think players would go to the Japanese servers and be obnoxious over there? Do you think players would go over there and like not follow the rules of looting and cause problems and be dickheads about it? They would. As I'm asking the question, I'm like, you know they would. You know they would. Maybe not on purpose. Yeah, not even on purpose. Because did you know that in JP server, when loot drops from a boss, what they do is they don't all roll on all the loot like we do. They roll from left to right. They all roll on the first item, and then someone gets it and leaves. And he doesn't get to get anything else. Isn't that so crazy? Like, I would not know that. But then they do that, and then the next item, everybody rolls on it, and whoever gets it gets the item and leaves. Now, how the hell would you know that? We just accept the fact that, well, some guy might get lucky and take all the loot. That's luck. Is that the most fair system? I mean, there's different ways of looking at it. You could say maybe the JP system spreads the loot around in a more fair and even way, but we also, you know, with the way the Western players do it, that's leaving it up to the chance. And there's a chance you could get it all or get nothing, and that's kind of exciting and okay too. It's just how it's a different perspectives. I'm not saying one way is right and one way is wrong, But this is something that if you travel to Japanese server and you don't know it, you're just gonna roll neat on everything like you always would, and people might think you're a huge asshole for doing that. And that's not your fault. Because maybe you won't be able to understand them explaining it to you in Japanese. That's not how it's done. Yeah, maybe a bust, or maybe I'll take it all. Yeah, so I don't know. I understand that that is a consideration that they have, but at least turn it on between the predominantly English-speaking data centers. Like, turn it on between NA and EU. Just do that. Because I have rated from EU, I've rated on NA, and there are some differences, but it's not so big of a deal that we can't work together. It's fine. It's actually fine. So I don't know. I really hope that they turn it on. I don't know how. I like how Oceania is just the guinea pig for this because it has like 3 people native to the server. Or JP folks will come to EU and US to be able to roll on all the loot. True. There might be some people in JP who would prefer that other system. And, but this is something that would need to be communicated within a party. This is just one example, by the way. There's probably other things that I don't even know about. But then there's there's a communication problem within the party if different people are speaking different languages. Anyways, world visit system for Japanese data center, yes, they are limiting the number of people that can world visit. If I were on Dynamis, I would be freaking out right now. I was on Dynamis for like a year, and I would be very worried. Well, because you won't be able to travel to Ether, Primal, or Crystal when the expansion comes out. Not only that, but other people from the other data centers may be trying to travel to Dynamis in huge numbers to meet each other because they've turned off travel between these other ones. Which I don't know if this is going to impact Dynamis, but then again, they did say that if Dynamis is your home world, you're going to be prioritized in logging in. So it's basically, I can tell you right now that this whole system, this whole situation is going to be a massive cluster when the expansion comes out. It's going to be so rough to get into the server. Yeah, it'll be rough. I'm just really glad. Basically, what I would recommend is consider being on a server that you like now. Consider your server transfer. If you're on the fence about a server transfer and you want to be closer to your friends and stuff, do it now. Yeah. Do that now. North American Data Center, yeah, world visit system will be unavailable. And we'll all travel to Dynamis if needed. Same thing here. It's all been covered already. It's just kind of repeating itself. Hey! ERP Mario, thank you for the 34-month resub. Appreciate it. I'm in a cross DC static. That is going to be rough. I imagine that's going to be... I think everybody's in a cross DC static. Like, who has a static nowadays where everybody's on the same server even? I think it's really, really uncommon now. So, Savage isn't going to release for 2 weeks after the launch. So hopefully things will settle down by then. By the time Savage comes out, it probably will. But yeah. The congestion won't last the whole 2 weeks. Yes, exactly. It's just gonna be rough for the few days following launch. Additionally, characters that were visiting another world prior to patch 7.0 will still be able to return to their homeworld regardless of traveling restrictions, but their ability to return may be temporarily impeded by periods of server congestion. What? I didn't understand this at all. Okay, let me think again. Characters that were visiting another world before the patch can still go home regardless of the restrictions. Okay, so you can go home no matter what, but their ability to return... Okay, you might struggle to return home. Basically, do not be visiting another data center before the patch drops. Don't do it. Make sure you are home on your home world. Because you could really be screwed. You can be imprisoned, actually. Your character could become inaccessible to you. Because it could take you 1,000 years to return to your home world. If your character is currently visiting a world that will have traveling restrictions, that is, if you're not... Basically, this is almost every world. We advise returning to the home world before maintenance begins. Really important. Really important. You will struggle to get into the game. Yes. Pray return. Go home. This is so jank. Yes, it is. Yeah, it is. This is gonna be... I think this might be one of the most chaotic launches. Just because people are gonna be trying to decide which server to log into. They're gonna be leaving the queue to try to get into a different... You know what it's gonna be like? It's gonna be like when you're at the grocery store and there's a ton of long lines to the cashier and you decide that you're gonna pick the line that looks a little shorter. So you stand in that line and then you look at the line to your right that you didn't pick and it goes way faster. So then you get in the other line and then it starts to slow down really bad and you look to the left and you see that line that you just abandoned. Suddenly, if you notice it starts going at lightning speed. If you just stayed in that same line, you would have made it to the cashier already. That's how it's gonna feel. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. There's gonna be somebody up there with the checks. They're writing a check. They're like, oh, well, I'm actually... Dynamis is my home server, but I understand that there's many people visiting to Dynamis right now. Can I travel from Dynamis to Oceania? Because my friends are on Oceania, but actually they're visiting it because they're from EU, but I can't travel to EU yet. So can I just travel from... What if I go to Oceania to meet my friends from EU, then can I easily transfer back home? It's gonna be dank. It's gonna be so dank. Way too dank. Say that again from the top. Oh, you're gonna be hearing it whenever the patch drops. Playing on other worlds during... This is like... This whole article, it's like... DAWNTRAIL login queues and you. A primer. Playing on other worlds during congestion. High congestion is expected on all worlds, especially those on Japanese, North American, and European data centers. Okay. Although data center travel and world visit may be... Hold on. Limited, as mentioned above, during periods of high congestion, you may want to consider playing on worlds with lower populations. New worlds, probationary worlds, and those on Oceanian Data Center. I don't know. So, if you're on Japanese Data Center, you can travel to Oceania. If you're on North America, you can travel to Dynamis or Oceania. If you're on European, you can go to the Shadow Realms or Oceania. How to travel. We know how to do that. It's from the character selection menu. Yeah. While there will be restrictions based on the world visit system or data center travel, you will still be able to progress in main scenario quests, as well as find parties and participate in duties through the duty finder. So we recommend considering this method, depending on your situation. Okay. Imagine that you're trying to log in to DAWNTRAIL and you have a 50,000 person queue and it's your first time trying to figure out how to use data center travel. You've never done that before. You don't know what it is. I hope you can figure that out now and not at that time. Maybe practice a little bit. Yeah. Visit Another World server will automatically choose a less crowded world within the same data center as your home world. This is helpful. That could be helpful. Note that during peak congestion times, such as the early access period, you may experience login queues even when using this feature. Now, this is a long post. How do you return a character to their home world? Yes. You click return to home world. Okay, character creation. You will not be able to create a new character on a world. Yeah, you better make your character now. I hope somebody's not trying to make a new character with DAWNTRAIL launch. Also a bad idea. Please create new characters outside of peak congestion times. Error. Oh no! 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 It sent a chill down my spine to hear the dreaded error 2002, the true final boss. No! Error 2002 may be displayed when selecting a character in the character selection menu. This error is displayed when the login server is experiencing high traffic or when the number of characters waiting exceeds its maximum capacity. This is a measure to prevent the server from crashing due to extreme traffic loads. Should you encounter error 2002 when attempting to log in, we apologize, but ask that you wait a while before trying again. No, I will not wait a while before trying again, Yoshi P. If I get error 2002, I am going to exit as quickly as possible, and then as quickly as physically possible that I can log back into the damn game to get the error again. I'm going to do it again. I will speed run error 2002 as many times as it takes. Furthermore, the aforementioned maximum capacity has been increased by 50%. Oh, okay, good. Yeah, I'm sure that's gonna help a lot. That's good. That's a good amount more. Okay. Error 2002 may also occur when you are waiting in the login queue. Longer wait times mean an increased likelihood of being interrupted. No! No, don't! So, basically, they're saying the longer that you wait in the queue, the more likely it is that you're gonna have a problem. the funniest part. Longer wait times mean an increased likelihood of being interrupted by connection issues due to packet loss, unstable Wi-Fi connections, and other network environment factors. Okay, so what's the strat here? It sounds like we're describing an encounter, like a boss fight. Okay, so the strat is you want to log back in as quickly as possible, and you want to stay in the queue for as short a time as possible. Yeah. It's a stacking debuff, basically. So the longer that you have on the dot, the more likely you'll die. It's like kind of a soften rage. Yeah. Your PC is tanking. It's it's your internet connection that will be tanking. Yeah. In the event of a disconnect due to error 2002, the lobby server will hold your place in the queue for 1 minute. Oh. You can get rezzed. There's a 1 minute period of time where you can be rezzed if you die to error 2002. Yeah. If your connection returns and you manage to re-enter the lobby server relatively quickly. But wait a minute, didn't you just say that I should wait a while before trying again? So I don't want to wait a while. I actually need to get back in within 1 minute because it will hold my place. You'll be able to return to your place in the login queue. However, if a certain amount of time passes before you return to the lobby server, your place in the queue will be lost, and you will need to re-enter the login queue from the beginning. So, if you get disconnected, the most important thing is to relog immediately. Immediately. Okay, if you wait too long, you will be sent to the back of the line. So you basically need to be sitting there babysitting. That means if it launches at 4 a.m., that means I can't just turn it on and go to bed, because then I'll get error 2002, and if I'm not there to babysit and log myself back in, then I'm going to get sent to the back of the line. Because doesn't error 2002 completely exit the game? Yes, there is some mixed signals here. This is why they implemented solution 2002. Yeah, that's the thing. So you cannot get in the queue and go to bed like I planned. Because if you get error 2002, the game crashes. It disconnects you from the damn game. Completely. So you have to turn the game on again. Do you have to type in your password again? Yeah, I think you do. Yes, I think that you actually will have to type in a password. Final Fantasy 14 is the only game that I actually have to type in my password every single time. I can't even, there's websites I don't have to type my password in every single time for. Okay, so you need to babysit it and be there. Oh, but they were all of them deceived, for there was another error during gameplay made. Error 90002 90006. There's extra mechanics. Other ones. You thought 2002 was bad? This is worse. This is during gameplay. So you've survived error 2002. You made it. You made it into the damn game. But it's not done with you. Because you weren't looking out for error 90002. These errors are general network connection errors caused by network disconnections. In the event of these errors being displayed, please check the status of your network environment. We suggest using a wired internet connection. Okay, yes. I have already done this. I have a gigantic Ethernet cable that stretches across my entire house. So do not trust Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is not going to carry you through this errors. The Wi-Fi is not going to be strong enough to tank the internet. We need like giga internet stability. Next, automatic logout. Man, this really is, it actually does feel like we're reading the possibilities, doesn't it? It really feels like this. It feels like I'm reading the mechanics of the boss, and we're coming up with a strat right now. Next mechanic, automatic logout. In order to ease congestion, players who are inactive for 30 minutes will be automatically logged out from the video game. Okay. As we would like to give priority to those who would like to act. Wow, this is some sass. Wow, this is totally unnecessary sass, but okay. We would like to give priority to those who would like to actively play the game instead of just sit there doing nothing. Like, what are you even doing at your computer, not even playing the game? Think we should hold a place for you, idiot? Enjoyers in shambles. Yeah, like, we apologize for the inconvenience. But can you just log out when you're not actively playing? If you're just sitting there staring at your character? Maybe they are playing, you know? I don't know. Sorry, half of Limza. There actually are ways that I've seen people counter this. Oh yeah. This is it. I found it. People set up auto keys. Okay, look. Here's what you can do. You use the drinking bird to like Yeah, you need to be creative. Modern problems require modern problems need modern solutions. Yeah, here you go. Birds arrive. Problem solved. Pick yourself up one of these things. And this way, actually, it's a horrible idea. This is what I'm imagining, like when I'm in the queue and there's people ahead of me in the queue or in the game. I'm imagining if this is what they're doing. I'm thinking, I bet that guy, he's not even in the game right now. I bet he's just sitting there with a donkey bird. Like when it says there's one person ahead of you. I wish that guy would just turn off that stupid donkey bird so I could get to the game. Anyway, please log out normally when you're not playing out of consideration for other people. Peak congestion times. Congestion statuses vary with each logical data center. Based on typical activity, the login times following are especially congested. Okay, so from 1 p.m. to 11 p.m. PDT. Okay, that's not too long. So, I should be able to just clear out the 10 hours block there. Yeah. Yeah. Considering early access, oh, European is 4 a.m. to 4 p.m. Wait a minute, but I'm on NA. I live in NA, but I play on EU, which means I have a huge advantage. That means I will always be playing outside of peak congestion times. If I'm playing in the evening, nobody can stop me. I'm always going to be there when y'all are asleep. I'm already hacking the system with a weird schedule that I have already. You start stream at 4 p.m. UK time. Yes, but I don't sleep, so it's a really good way to, really the best way that I've found so far to have more time to play, especially during non-peak times, is to just sleep less. Yeah. You can carve out a lot of extra time that way by sleeping less. Considering early access will be taking place during the weekend, there may be congestion outside of these hours as well. The above times are simply meant to be a reference. Okay. Well, I will write you a letter, Yoshi P, if I experience congestion outside of these times. Preventative measures against server crashes. To prevent world servers from crashing, the number of characters that can move between in-game area? Wait, what? Between a certain time frame will be limited. As such, am I going to be locked in my house? The game may display unable to move areas due to congestion when attempting to enter a different area. If this error is displayed, you are 100% going to be locked in your house. Yes, you are. We ask that you change areas again or wait a while before attempting again. We apologize for the inconvenience. This will happen. This is to prevent the server from crashing. Okay. Wait times for instanced content. Why not have a queue for that as well? A queue to leave your house? This does happen all the time. Actually, me and Preach had a big party to celebrate Chaos and Light data center travel on EU. And we had a big party in the Ishgard residential district. It was a block party involving a lot of different houses. And people just could not leave their houses to go to other houses in the block party. Because they could not, there was congestion. So this also happens when it's the start of an expansion and people are trying to do a hunt train and you're trying to teleport to the zone where the hunt train mob is and you can't because there's too many people trying to go there. This is the reason why FF14 doesn't have a lot of open world content. It's because the game can't actually support it from a technical perspective. That's why for open world content, what we have to have instead is large scale zones like Eureka or Baja that feel like open world, but aren't actually, because that's a safer environment for lots of players to be where the server won't crash. So, anywho, wait times for instance content. There's a possibility that certain instance content, such as duties required to progress through quests, may experience congestion. Rob on Extreme. This is Raubon Extreme again. For instance, duties required to progress a quest, we've designed methods to stagger player traffic during main scenario progression. And have also implemented a queue system in case of congestion. A queue system for the... Okay. Should congestion occur... But can't I just go in with my duty support? Like, I don't need other players to do the dungeon with the NPCs, right? Should congestion occur, your number in the queue will be displayed upon attempting to enter the instance. We ask that you patiently remain in the queue. Okay. Basically, they're talking about queuing with players. Don't do that. Just go with your NPCs. Problem solved. Next. Man, this is... this really is like Ultimate Fight. Yeah. But don't go AFK as well. The real healer strike will just be the congestion. Yeah, it's more now it's going to be a healer, tank, and DPS strike because nobody will be able to play the game. So everybody's going on strike, whether you want to or not. Instances of the new areas. During the periods immediately after DAWNTRAIL's early access and launch, areas added in DAWNTRAIL or visited during the DAWNTRAIL main scenario will be heavily trafficked. In order to allow more players to enter these areas, we'll be implementing several instances of the same area. Now, this is actually great. And you can hack and abuse this. Not hack. Not abuse. Let me rephrase. You can take advantage of this situation for your hunt, train, mount progression. Yes, you can double, quadruple up on your hunt trains, and you can get these mounts much faster than they're probably intended by doing. Each instance has its own hunt bosses in it, so you can do this very fast. Expertly utilized. Thank you. Yes, expertly utilized. Smart. While each of them share the same map, they will be treated as separate areas, and you'll be moved to one of these. Yes, we know about that. That's good. However, okay, you may choose to enter a specific instance of an area either by traveling to your destination through an entrance. I know how to enter the instance. But you will need, like, if you're trying to meet with your friend, you need to do this. You actually need to know about this text command /instance so you know which instance you're in and which instance your friend is in so you guys can see each other. Actually, a good tip. Players in different instances of the same area can communicate with tel messages as normal. However, there's some restrictions. Okay. You won't be able to see each other's character, but dude, there's so many restrictions on trying to send someone a tel in Final Fantasy. I just use Discord. Just use Discord. Enter the same instance area as your party. Party members will be generally moved to the same instance area when using teleport or return. However, party members may be split between different instances if the destination instance has already reached player cap. Okay. Make an effort to be in the same instance as your party. Got it. Finally. Woo, we made it. Support services during early access and immediately after launch. The development and operations teams will be providing our utmost in live support in order for our players to enjoy the new adventures that await in DAWNTRAIL. World and server status, as well as any issues that may arise, will be announced through our Lodestone announcements. Whew! This is a doozy. This is a huge thing. It's going to be so difficult to play the game. They're doing their best, though. I think they're doing their best with the situation as it is. I feel like the servers are fairly prone to crashing. Because I remember, you know, sometimes people will ask Yoshi P, why can't we have a glamour dresser available like in our pocket, like have a portable glamour dresser, and he will say, because if everybody used the glamour dresser at the same time in the open world, the server would crash. And I think about that a lot. I think about like, and another thing, someone asked Yoshi P, can we have different, like, not tie horns to certain faces and have like more character customization? And he expressed concern that the servers could crash if that were happening. And I think about these things and I think about, damn, it is hard to keep these servers from crashing in the best of times. So, what hope do we have with the launch of the expansion to stay logged into the game? When we've got error 2002, we've got to go to the Shadow Realm. You can't make a new character on it. You got the error during the gameplay. You're going to be trapped in your house because there's going to be congestion in the zone. You're not going to be able to progress into the duty because too many people trying to do the duty. You need to get into the instance, but your party's going to be separated in the different instances because some of the instances are going to be full. And then, like, it's going to be... You're going to be automatically logged out. Well, that's good. That's good. Good luck. Have faith. Have faith. And at duty's end, we'll meet again. I doubt that the server's fault. Just weird coding. Yeah, I agree. Totally right. Totally right. So here's the, this is actually an amazing primer on everything that you can expect with DAWNTRAIL's launch if you've never been through anything like this before. It's a lot of information, and I think a lot of it is information that we take for granted. Those of us who this isn't our first rodeo. People who have done it. Like, we've been here, we've done it, we'll never forget these errors. But there might be people who are new, and it is their first rodeo. And so this is going to give them all the information that they need to be ready. So I think it's actually very, very useful post. I am sad that I'm losing hope about cross-region travel actually becoming possible for EU to NA. But maybe they'll still do it because they said we're evaluating this functionality, so maybe they'll still do it someday. Prage. My surprise is we can still travel to Materia. I think maybe that's part of the test. Maybe if that continues to go well in Materia, like the cross-region traveling continues to hold up well, then maybe they'll finally implement it